Hello there, this is Jeff. I'm recording a video for you for number 3, the third PDF, which you'll find on the website. And it's called 3Y1. I'm not sure why it's called that, but that's what it's called. So if you'll open up that PDF, we can talk you along through that and get something accomplished this way. Okay, go right through the first page, which has a list of all the things that will be on here, and go to the second page, and we're talking about TWIF. That means, what does that stand for? Wait, don't tell me. The world is flat. That's for the book. So the next assignment for the book is read the 4 chapters, 4 through 8, and add something to the discussion board on at least 3 of those chapters. So maybe I would expect 3 different posts on each of those chapters, something on each one of 3 of those chapters, and then some posts to comment or questions for other people. Remember, it's a discussion board, so that means you're supposed to respond to other people, and then they'll respond back. So you can have questions or comments and related to your own experience. Of course, it's all about trade. Number 1, education and the economy and change. So interesting things, and it's all very relevant to what you're doing in education and thinking about jobs and careers and career paths and technology and those kinds of things. So you should have something to say about each one of those. Remember, this is the only way, for some of you, the ones I don't see in class, this is the only way that I get an indication that you've actually read the book. So make clear, in-depth comments, make sure they're full sentences and quotations, and they display, as it says there, some thinking and reflection about the material from the text. So that's for The World is Flat for in the next 2 weeks, material on the discussion board. Okay, go to the next page. Just a quick review. Cold War essay should be done by now. There's some people I'm asking for rewrites or to add reflection, but it should be done by now. If you haven't done it, get it done by Tuesday, please. Your writing response to my essay questions should display your knowledge of the concepts and the events that I ask you about, especially the main concepts of the Cold War. That the Cold War bears a heavy responsibility for the lack of development in the developing world still today, because of the way it was manipulated during the Cold War, taking sides, and us and the Soviets both manipulating those countries instead of helping them develop and adding infrastructure and institutions and educating leaders. So make sure you get that done in the next couple days as well. Next, show you the activities. If you haven't done any yet, please do some. You might want to read the discussion board of other people's reactions to them first, and some of my comments in response as well. The main thing for the activities, make sure you're writing more than just, here's what I did, here's what I thought about it for myself. You're supposed to be reflecting a little more about it. How would you react if this was your everyday life? This is the way a lot of people live around the world, because they have to, not choosing to do it for an assignment. But make sure you take a look at that yourself and think about how, and reflect on it. How would you react if it was your everyday life? And make sure on the discussion board in general that you react to each other, respond thoughtfully to each other, and make it like a discussion board, not just posting things and not reading other people's, but respond to other people's posts too. And remember, at the end of the class, when I do the grading, I can put up on the screen all of your posts. Everything you've written on the discussion board comes up on one page for me, so I get to see, substantial writing, a lot of writing, writing with knowledge, writing with reaction to other people. All those things should be there in order to get top grades in the class. Okay, move on to the next page. Just some important development concepts for you to know. All right, let's talk about these before we go on. Sustainability, cost effectiveness, community involvement, towards improving standards of living, and asymmetric development. Sustainability, you've all heard the term. It's used in the United States and used in developed countries now all the time. Things should be sustainable. When you build or create something, it should have a way to sustain itself. Instead of needing constant inputs, or in a way where your input destroys your environment for the endeavor or project or business or whatever it is. So it means that you don't want to destroy the land that you live in. You don't want to, in order to build things or create things, you don't want to destroy. You don't want to poison the water or the air. That would be a lack of sustainability. And in terms of development projects, which cost money, which are often donated or put together from volunteers, you don't want to have to keep on donating money to keep a project going. It should be enough to have an input of substantial amounts of money or equipment or expertise. You put that into the project, then the project itself, with the community involvement and support, that improves the standard of living within that region or within that area. When the standard of living rises, it means better health, better education, better agriculture, more education going on. All those potential things are happening. So now the people themselves can pay for whatever it is that input was. And if it was ICTs, a computer kiosk, computer lab, a solar-powered wireless computer room, whatever it is, they should then be able to afford to maintain it themselves, learn to maintain it, and be able to pay for it if they raise the standard of living enough. So that's one aspect of sustainability that you've got to think about when we're doing evaluation of development projects, which is what we'll do at the very end. So that included cost effectiveness, so being cost effective is important, not spending too much considering what you're getting, community involvement and support in designing and implementing development projects. You have to have community involvement and support, so you're providing what they actually want, and they're assisting you in making it and keeping it going. It's not outsiders putting something in which nobody really wants or nobody knows anything about. Improving standard of living, that's the main goal for health, education, environment, all those things. Improving standard of living means people have more free time, people are healthier, they have more time to work or to learn, the kids live longer, everybody lives longer and healthier lives, and that's the general thing. Sanitation, another one. Improving standard of living, that's the general goal for development. And lastly, asymmetric development means that development can't always be symmetric. Everybody's not going to rise or raise the standard of living at the same rate. Some people will raise, or groups will raise their standard of living farther or faster than other groups, and it doesn't mean they have to wait. We have freedom around the world to do anything you want, basically, and nobody's in charge and says, no, wait for everybody to get access to clean water before we help some people use computers for education. We don't do that. If some people are ready for computers for education, they can get them. If some people don't have clean water, we work on that. But nobody waits around for everybody to be developed at the same rate. All right, so those are some important development concepts. Let's see where we are. Okay, just another minute or two. I don't want to take too long, because then these videos take too long to upload. A couple of different things are in the next few slides. Government and ICTs, agriculture and ICTs, and education and ICTs. Important concepts and ways to think about them. All three of those, government, agriculture, and education, have obvious ways, and I show them to you in some ways, the ways ICTs can improve all those things. In the videos I want you to watch, numbers 7, 8, and 9 in the external links section. Those will show you some concrete examples of ICTs improving education, government, and agriculture, a bunch of those things in there. And I want you to take a look at those and begin to think about it, because that's going to be one of your last assignments, is going to be evaluating an ICT project. Okay, so look at those pages on the outline, get familiar with those concepts, watch those videos, and you'll be prepared for the ending. Let's go to the last page of the PDF. It tells you right there, July 18th is the last face-to-face class. If you haven't been to one of the face-to-face classes yet, please feel free to show up. I'd love to see you. If we haven't seen you yet, if you've been coming along, please do come again to July 18th, 6 to 9 o'clock, and we'll be discussing chapters 4 to 8. We'll be finishing up Commanding Heights. You should have finished your Commanding Heights essay by then, and we'll talk about the activities as well and getting ready for the ending of the class, which is after that. There's no class meeting after that, but there's 2 more chapters to read, chapters 9 and 10, and you'll each do a brief analysis of a development project. You can see that now on the assignments page, but I think you'll be better prepared for that around July 18th from that class on to finish up. Coming next Saturday, I'll be going to Kosovo. If you've heard of it, it's a southeastern Europe country. It's fairly well developed, except for it's got a lot of high unemployment, has low levels of infrastructure in some places, and it's pretty poor in a lot of it. So the main kinds of development activities that are going on that I'll be working with are business and entrepreneur programs, which are trying to improve the ways that young people can start business there. I'll be doing some videotaping and some evaluation of some programs there, and I'll be sure to send you some video or some messages from there. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. Give me an email message or drop me a line. I'll be glad to help you out. I'll be on the discussion. I'll be on the Blackboard site, grading and responding to things all along the way, including next week, the week I'm away. But keep on going with those assignments. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great 4th of July weekend. If I don't see you, bye bye.